going to show you the close to home basic April block of the month. This month we're going to be using the companion angle to make quarter square triangles. As you can see from the block, each of these 4 units is made out of 4 triangles or quarter squares. So here's the angle, the companion angle. And the easiest way to use the companion angle is to find the finished size of your square. So today's square is going to be a 4-inch square, so we'll go down to the 4, which represents the 4-inch, and as we follow the line to the center, that represents the size strip that you need to cut to make your quarter square triangles. So now that you see this, you can make any quarter square triangle from 1 inch to 10-inch finished just by using the size strip that's shown on the ruler. It's great because everything is shown right here on the ruler. All right, so let's get started. We'll cut our kits. The first thing you want to do is from your large white rectangle is to go ahead and cut 4 4.5-inch squares. Those represent our corners. From the remainder, you're going to cut a 2.5-inch wide strip. Don't worry about the length on the 2.5-inch strips because we're going to be using our companion angle and there's going to be plenty. Okay, so 4 4.5s and a long 2.5-inch strip. From the blue, from our rectangle, you're going to cut 2 2.5-inch strips out of the blue. And same thing with the orange. Again, don't worry about the length. Just get a nice straight 2.5-inch strip. And then of course for our center, a plain old 4.5-inch square. Okay? All right, so most of this is pretty standard as far as the squares and the corners and the centers, but I want to get into the cutting of the quarter square triangle. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer a white and a blue together, right sides together, and we'll also layer an orange and a blue, right sides together. Okay? So with the companion angle, we want to make sure that the blunt edge or the top, the most narrow top edge is at the top of our strip, and that 2.5, where it was marked 2.5, that is along the bottom of our 2.5-inch strip. Okay? So we're going to just line them up right on top of each other. I'm just going to put the 2.5-inch mark or the 4 from the edges, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut our very first triangle. Now at the end I'm going to have a little bit of extra. That's okay, we can throw that away. But I've cut my first pair of orange and blue quarter squares triangles. We're going to go ahead and stack all of these up. We need 4 cut from the orange blue and 4 cut from the white blue. So we'll go ahead and stack all of these up with the blue on top so that we can sew them all at the same time. All right, so let me just keep flip-flopping the ruler, and we're going to cut 4 of these. This is the orange, and rotate it 180 degrees. And just keep rotating the ruler, lining up the lines, and stacking up your pairs of triangles. Okay, so far I have the orange blue, whoops, and then you see we have plenty of remainder. Okay, the next thing you want to do is do the white and the blue. So make sure those are right sides together. The white is pretty tough to see. Get those edges nice and straight, and we'll do the exact, you'll notice I had a lot of white, don't worry about that. You'll have plenty of fabric in your kits. And we're going to just start again with our end, cutting our first pair of white and blue. And again, keep stacking these up with the blue side up. I'll tell you why in a minute. And we'll cut a couple more. And again, just rotating our ruler. Rotating our ruler. And one more. Okay, so I'm going to sew a couple of these pairs together for you. I'm not going to do all of them, but I will do a blue and an orange. So the first thing we want to do is when we have these all stacked up with the blue on the top, we want to sew down the right-hand side of each of these triangles while the blue is on top. So they're all going to be sewn on the right-hand side. Doesn't matter if it's blue and white or it's blue and orange. So go ahead and do all 8 of those. I'm just going to do the 2 for you. And I like to start, let me do this real quick. I do like to start from the blunt edge, the narrow edge, and sew my 1/4 of an inch toward the tapered point. Okay, so blue on top, right side of the triangle. Let's go ahead and sew. All right, that was the blue. That was the blue and white. And this is a, oops, blue and an orange. All right, get those right on top of each other. And 1/4 of an inch on the right-hand side. Not the really long side, but the 1/4 inch side, the right-hand side. Okay, so all 8 of these, once you've sewn them on the right-hand side, all of these get pressed toward the blue. So go ahead and put them on your ironing board with the blue side up. Give that seam a little bit of heat and flip it over onto the blue. A little bit of heat and flip it over to the blue. Okay, so now you're going to have 4 units this way and 4 units this way. So we're going to put the opposite blues opposite each other, and when we go to sew these together, you're going to notice that the seam allowances go to either side or toward the blue, so you're able to lock your seam into place. So once you have it locked, just hold on to it, match your corners, match your seam up here and this side, and just to know that both triangles are right on top of each other. And then we're going to sew at 1/4 of an inch. Pretty simple. Okay. Hold on to that center. The Ohio star is a pretty traditional star, pretty simple to make, especially if you have the companion angle. Okay, so we've gone ahead, sewn this, and again, it doesn't matter which way you press this. And we have a 1/4 square triangle. Sorry. All right. The only tips that I can help you with on putting these together is to go ahead and when you sew your pieces together, just make sure that the corners are right into the seam allowance, right between the evenly between the blue and the white, and that will ensure that you get a nice 1/4 of an inch all the way around. When the first row goes on to the second row, it's a really good idea to pin your 1/4 of an inch points here and here, so that when you do sew them across, that they meet up in a line. Okay, so you have your 1/4 of an inch point here and on this side, and all I do is push a pin through that little intersection, and that's where you're going to sew. We've done that in the past. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and put our 9 patch together to complete our Ohio star. Real quick video. Again, I just wanted to let you know, because of the coronavirus, we're being very careful, and your safety is our concern, of course. So you can start picking up your kits and patterns on Tuesdays between 10 and 2, or Fridays between 10 and 2, starting with next week. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always call the store at 860-793-6639 and let us know what you need. We can ring it through over the phone. We can help you out and just run it out to the car for you. We want everybody to feel safe, so you can always email to close@snet.net. Email us your order or call us. It's fine. Did I forget anything? Katie, we're good. Okay. So that's great, and I will see you next month. Have fun with your black. Bye.